Welcome to another legal talk on eRadio with myself, Jan, and joined by Nirvana Pillay from Hahn Attorneys. Today we have a very interesting topic that's been suggested by a few listeners in the past, and it's a problem that we're all facing, or most of us are facing at the moment, with load shedding escalating in South Africa. The topic is, my neighbour is using a generator during load shedding. The noise is driving me insane. What can I do? Let's just firstly talk about the load shedding impact on businesses and households. Nirvana, hello.
Hi, Ian. Thank you for having me back.
Welcome back.
Firstly, load shedding has impacted businesses in that there's a loss of valuable operating hours during which products can be manufactured, services can be performed, or the making of sales, for example. And this is especially in cases where a business relies heavily on the use of electrical equipment. Whereas on a household and individual level, there's a large percentage of the population left without basic needs, such as running water, heat and light. Food spoils in unpowered fridges. Water cannot be pumped from reservoirs or heated for drinking and bathing. There's also safety issues where individuals forget to turn off electrical appliances after the power has been cut. This may cause a waste of electricity, power shortages, a danger if those appliances run without supervision once the power is turned back on.
Yeah, that's a bit dangerous. Wouldn't leave any chip fryers or things on there. Nirvana, at the moment, as it stands, what kind of options are we looking at for businesses and residents to just keep the lights on here in South Africa?
I believe that individuals and businesses can look at options such as a built-in battery backup solution, which consists of an inverter and a battery pack. This is also a less noisy option compared to that of a generator. Then obviously you do have the option of a generator. However, this is not ideal for residential areas and small businesses, as it requires constant refilling of fuel and maintenance, and further can cause noise and pollution problems. We can also then look at solar panels and a battery system. So this can be done on a small scale or larger scale. So if you think about it, an individual can install maybe one or two smaller solar panels and a battery, which may cost between 2,000 and 5,000 Rand, and will possibly power on some lights and a cell phone charger, whereas a larger solar panel and battery system may cost between 9,000 and 16,000 Rand, and can possibly power around 5 lights, a TV or a fridge, whereas your much bigger solar system solutions could cost over 50,000 Rand, but in the long run will save you money on electricity.
Yeah, there's a lot of those going around at the moment. But what does the law say about regulating noise disturbances? Let's say, for instance, there's a very loud party next door, or the neighbour's running his generator. Is that more or less the same thing? Does both count as a noise disturbance?
Well, both would count as a noise disturbance. So firstly, you need to look at the noise control regulations. This defines a noise disturbance as any sound which disturbs or impairs or may disturb or impair convenience or peace of another person. Section 4 of the noise control regulation states that no person shall make, produce, or cause a disturbing noise or allow it to be made, produced, or caused by any person, animal, machine, device, or apparatus, or combination thereof. An individual's options when it comes to their legal remedies would be to lay a complaint with your local authority. This will be by way of a written statement. Many local authorities have noise control units who have the power to take steps to control noise and associated complaints. They may send out law enforcement to investigate the seriousness of the complaint, ask the individual to reduce the level of noise. If they don't comply with this, a fine may be imposed, or, for example, the generator may be later removed. A good way, however, to reduce that noise level when it comes to a generator would be to soundproof the area in which the generator is held. Another option would be to approach the courts for an interdict. which may be granted if the neighbor's conduct is unlawful or threatens to be unlawful, then you have to look at considerations such as the type of noise, the degree of persistence, where the noise occurs, the times when the noise is heard, and the efforts made to resolve the matter. So each case will be determined on its own set of facts. And if you look at the noise control regulations, Section 9 states that any person who contravenes Section 4 and 5 of the regulations will be liable on conviction to a fine not exceeding 20,000 Rand or imprisonment for a period of not exceeding 2 years.
Wow. Also, check out your contract that you signed, especially if you're in a complex. A lot of these complaints are coming from complexes with body corporates and the like. And, and they're saying, it is actually in the thing that you signed when you initially signed up or you purchased a property in the complex, or you signed up for a lease. It says there about the noise, and especially after 10 o'clock at night. So you agreed to it. But now people are saying, hey, electricity is my human right. I'm working from home. I need electricity to survive. So what are you going to do? It's very difficult, Nirvana.
No, definitely. But I mean, when living in a complex or in an estate, you're governed by your body corporate rules or your home association rules. So you need to make yourself familiar with those rules and also understand what level of noise is permitted and until what time that noise is permitted. However, certain things need to be considered when you want to install a generator, like, for instance, what would be the level of the noise that would emanate from that generator? And if it's going to exceed the permissible noise levels, then you need to consider, obviously, soundproofing the area where the generator is held, or the alternative options of solar paneling, as well as installing an inverter, which is a lot cheaper alternative to that of a generator. Because if you think about the price of fuel, you'll be saving money on that.
Exactly.
And also the upkeep for the generator.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, a generator, it's not like the generator is the only option to keep your house running. You get really good inverters. They make absolutely no noise, and they're very, very good. And also, you don't have to put petrol into them. So that's nice. But, then people say, okay, but there's not a lot of time in between the load shedding stages for the inverter to charge properly, which I can also understand. So it is a very, very tricky situation. But I suppose just lastly a question, Nirvana. Let's say your neighbor is cranking up the older generator. You can't just go in the yard and confiscate it, right?
No, definitely not. You need to if you're living in a complex or an estate, obviously you can go speak to the body corporate, or you, like I said prior, you lay a complaint with your local authority, and then you take those necessary steps. You can't just waltz into your neighbor's yard and just pull out a generator, no.
Yeah, but listen, this is funny, but it actually happened. I know a few people who it happened to. The neighbors get so angry they actually don't think straight, and then they go and they take the generator, which is not allowed. But, in that moment when they're so angry, I don't think they're thinking about the implications.
Well, I had a friend I spoke to earlier about the issue, and she has a neighbor also that is complaining about the noise that is emanating from the generator. So they've moved it away from the wall closest to the neighboring wall, so that the noise level is reduced.
Yeah. I also wonder how effective the soundproofing is for that generator. How much of that noise does it keep out? Because you still need to let the gases and stuff go out somewhere. There needs to be a hole somewhere in that thing for the gases to escape.
Yeah. And that's why you have to install a vent to ensure the fumes do not cause a nuisance to your neighbors as well.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
That's the issue.
I didn't even think about the fumes. Yo. That's hectic. But Nirvana, this is daily life in South Africa now. I think load shedding is here to stay for a long time, and more people are looking at solutions to keep the lights on, and we see that when there's load shedding. You'll see more and more lights are on during load shedding. It's people just simply deciding to get off the grid, as they say.
I think off-the-grid living is going to be the best option for us. And also, when it comes to cooking, to install gas, so that makes it easier to cook in the evenings as well. I mean, we're definitely going to have to think of everything possible to also limit our expenses later on.
And Nirvana, you personally, are you off the grid? What do you do during load shedding?
Currently, I go to the office and I work from there, or I make alternative arrangements. Luckily for us, we have gas installed, so cooking is never a problem.
Yeah, that's the best.
But we're also looking at getting an inverter. It's a much cheaper option compared to a generator.
Yeah.
And also, I think some people are very lucky if they live on that hospital line because they don't get affected by
I envy those people. Yeah, I envy those people, eh?
Very jealous.
Yeah, man. Just if you're going to buy a property, just make sure it's near a hospital. Yes.
Thinking of that's another option for us.
Yeah. Nirvana, it's been great catching up with you. Thank you so much again for your insights, and we'll chat again soon. That's Nirvana Pillay, Associate Attorney at Hahn & Hahn. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Are you or your business in trouble and struggling to find a solution? Call Hahn & Hahn Attorneys as we assist clients in finding solutions. We specialize in consumer and food law, commercial and construction law, forensic investigations and administrative law. Visit hahnlaw.co.za. That's HAHN. We assist clients nationwide. Hahn & Hahn Attorneys, because we care. Don't miss Legal Talk with Hahn & Hahn Attorneys, Wednesday mornings at 10 on eRadio.